Okay, I guess I'll start from there. Hey everybody, this is Will Cole here. Actually, I'm here to do my deck profile. Actually, I took Deep Lease to my ARG event this weekend over in Car Fighters Underground in Chicago, and I managed to come away with a win. A lot of stuff happened. I already typed in my report, so I'm trying to think of. I don't think there's anything I could say that I didn't say there, but I'll elaborate a bit on certain combinations and combos that came up during the course of the day. Pretty much, I'm going to go ahead and talk about what happened over the course of the day and present the deck to you guys and talk about certain combos that may appear and whatnot. First things first, I started off with a copy of Grand Hop. Grand Hop, he is the starter in this particular build. He gives a 4K boost to a unit when your Vanguard's high enough. I said it was a unit, but I kept on giving it to the Vanguard because I was just thinking that free plus is important, so I just kept giving it to the Vanguard all day. So, also that kind of charge and draw one actually helped out quite a bit today, or that day. I'm saying today as if it was happening already. Okay, so he was my starter. I missed Goisha a lot, but this build doesn't have many D Robos as much as I would like into it. It has more of a Cosmic Engine attached to it, so I had to take a back seat for this battle. As far as trigger lines were concerned, I played 4 copies of Operator Girl Rekka in this build. Like I said, it's all about plus 4K boosts and whatnot for everyone, or for the Vanguard in particular. So I made it a point to keep that around also, since I was playing, you'll see my grade 2 lineup, I was playing revolvers, so it's important to get a chance to get that restand on revolver for like a 17 or a 21 push possibly in order to make your opponent drop extra cards or give you extra counterblast to use for your next turn. I played 8 crits in this build as well, 4 of which were die battles, and then another 4 that were grand beats. I played the grand beats because I was running Excalibur, and I figured that if I'm going to play critical triggers, I might as well get some versatility out of them. So since I was playing Excalibur in my stride deck, I ran grand beat because I figured just why not? It's extra. It's another 5K plus draw on a swing if I'm on Excalibur, which will proc his ability if I have another 4K boost somewhere on the board, which should be your starter, so it should always be live. And die battles is because it's a D Robo trigger, so if I need to fill my soul requirement, I can use Die Bazooka to throw him in there and then keep going from there as to getting my count to 3, because a lot of times today that during that tournament, I felt like I was always either short of soul until I Die Bazooka something in the soul, so that's why I kept that as such. Going to my grade 1 lineups, I ran 1 copy of Operator Girl Yuka. Like I said, I was thinking just free plus 4Ks to everyone. So I figured that the best way to go about that would be to keep on focusing the pressure down on the opponent by, my one-time call, give the D-Robo, since the D-Robo is usually on the Vanguard circle, I would say like 90% of the time, 95% of the time, so it's always, plus 4K to the Vanguard. You also have your Laurels. I ran 2 Laurels in my build. I've always sworn by 2 Laurels because it just seems like it's an easier scenario for me. I mean, I can't find space for him anymore. He's slowly getting squeezed out, but D-Robos having that ability to just resign a Vanguard is just something that you can't ignore, but I would never run more. I just can't swear any more than 2 at this moment. As far as other grade 1s I ran today, I ran 4 copies of Die Shield. Die Shield was a really important card. I decided to run this one because I felt like I had enough counterblast to use, because I didn't use my units that made me counterblast a lot. So I figured that running the OG Die Shield was a good call. I mean, I wasn't really counterblasting much outside of my Grand Volver or my break rides or strides, so only time I used them was really during the late game, so I figured that was okay and fine and dandy. And finally, I had 4 copies of Grand Lady in this build. Like I said, my philosophy was plus 4Ks for everyone, so I just made it a point to keep on pumping up the Vanguard as much as I could with as free power boosts I had access to. So that's kind of why with Grand Lady, since I wasn't running much of anything else. I think 4 is a nice complement in the deck, and I'm enjoying it a lot. On the grade 2s. For my grade 2 lineups, like I said, I played 4 copies of Grand Revolver. By playing 4 copies of Grand Revolver, it let me, like I said, that pressure, it gives, 2 units of plus 4K boost, and if the Vanguard doesn't hit, you get some cool techniques from there as well. So it's a good way to really center in and get home some other abilities and whatnot. Also, it helped me a lot today. My first round matchup was just terrifying against Kagero, and the ability to have resist is just so amazing to have now. So I feel like it's a 4 of it almost in a lot of my builds from here on out, just because of its versatility and usefulness. In case I do overuse Counterblast and D-Robos. That means that I play 4 copies of Bazooka, because he's that pseudo grade 3 drive check. He gets you all your stuff. He counterblast and soul charge. I felt like I was doing really well in keeping myself counterblast wise in the game I was in today or that day. So it's like a lot of chances to get maneuvers off and checks and drives and whatnot. And I would see him and he would fix my soul. And that's ultimately what I was hoping that he would do. He was fixing my soul as he was going through the plays, and I was just like, yes, that's exactly what I need. So it gave me more access to using more of the cosmic engine and whatnot in order to help everything facilitate. To make space for the 4 revolvers, I kicked out 1 Dijet, so that put me down to 3. Since I can search it anyway, though, it always comes in handy. Since I seem like I can always see it, it's never too far away. Oh, I forgot to mention I had 4 heal triggers. I left those out there, but yeah, I played 4 heals. I'm not too crazy about those, but they're D-Robo triggers as well. So once again, helping facilitate and whatnot. Onto the grade 3s, I played 4 copies of the Break Ride. It's your optimal ride. You want to see it, you want to use it, you want to break ride with it, you want to win with it. It should be your ultimate ride at all times. Sometimes it may not get there, but the goal is to always ride on Daikaiser and D-Robos, because that's the he's the initiator to a lot of our biggest plays and pushes. In this build, I played 3 copies of the Legion of True Daikaiser. So I bumped it up to 3 because I felt like I was going to need to see it a lot. Testing against a couple of things, I noticed that playing it as a 2 of, I didn't see it nearly as much because I was playing as a 2 of with 1 Shadow and 1 Great Daikaiser. But when those got moved out, then I pushed this up to 3. That played 2 copies of the Mate. I played 2 copies of the Mate because it's my personal favorite. I figured that 3 and 2 is a good number. Luckily today, that day I didn't lose too many of them, so I just kind of was going through my plays with knowing that there's at least one I have access to if one gets damaged or one gets soul charged. I know I have access to another one in deck somewhere, so I really never got stuck in that regard. And if that were the case, and I was swinging with my strides the rest of the game anyway, so it was just nice to know that I had that access. Now, Elegance Feather. Everyone's been asking me about this card. To quite explain this card, you choose a card from your hand, you discard it, and when it's placed down, you give yourself, the Vanguard, and her a plus 4k boost. And by going about that process, actually, you give the Vanguard an additional skill to draw 1 on hit. So what I did a lot during the day was I would call this to the rear guard. I would discard a card, and I would give her a plus 4 and then something else a plus 4, and it would allow for my Vanguards to be swinging 15 at their 9s, or you'll see in the video another combo that came up. I'll hopefully get a chance to explain that one another day. But it's Elegance Feather. I was looking for versatility in my grade 3 lineup. I was looking for something to make up for the loss of Shadow Kaiser and Great Daikaiser cross break ride. And when I saw this card, I was like, this could work. This could work a lot. There's some combos I'll talk about hopefully another day involving her, because she's a little bit better than advertised. All right. That means my grade 3 lineup for this day was 11, I want to say. Yeah, 11. So 4, 7, 9, 11. So I played 11 grade 3s in this build, which means I played 11 grade 3s, 11 grade 2s, and 11 grade 1s, which means 4 die bazookas, which means I played 15, on any given moment, 15 breaks in the deck. Of course, -1, -2 for the stride, or for the Legion break ride turn. So I had pretty good access to my breaks in this game. So I would say like a max of 15 going into it. So it was a pretty solid number for me. I've been trying 11 for a while now, and it seems like it's going decent. Going on to the strides, I'm going to go ahead and grab those out now. So, like I said, I wanted to play a real versatile deck of strides when I first got the news of the upgrade. That's what excited me the most. And so I got a chance to do that this time around with the stuff in my stride zone or my G zone. Starting with 2 copies of Dimensional Robo Great Die Earth. We already know what he does and his purpose. Solid first stride if I'm behind on field. Solid second stride if my field gets wiped. It's just a recovery play. It's a setup play for future pushes or whatnot. It gets me to my die jets. The die jets do their thing from there. So it helped out quite a bit. I played 1 copy of X Phoenix. Like I said, I was running a lot of 3+4, so his skill was, every time I rode him, his skill was always live. It was always a 2 4Ks to give to it in order to make it a relevant 34. Let me not hit and I'll draw. So he was always live. He helped me out quite a bit. He's also a very solid first stride, so it gave me options of versatility depending on what the matchup wasn't calling for. Also, I played 2 copies of X Gallop in this build, actually. I made space for X Gallop because X Gallop is a really nice card, and getting to 35 with 3+4s all over is just, it's easy to do. I found myself at 26, and I have like 3 cards in hand, but I'll have a +4/+4 and then swing in, just to get that quad drive going from the boosted from the rear guard circle. So it always netted me that quad drive, and then sometimes you put back enough Rekkas and it becomes a real. It can get real nasty if done correctly, but I like the 2 of them in there. I think that's a good number for in Robos. If it was Cosmic Hero, it's a mandatory 4 of, but in Robos, 2 is a good number. Your Sea Breeze, just because reasons, people don't, punish your opponents trying to get you on grade 2 and all that good stuff. I played 3 copies of Big Man X Tiger. Of course, his ability is unbiased in this G flip, and then of course you figure that you go through G flip, G flip, G flip. So he's pretty much live after your second stride. So we'll be having 4 cards face up in the G zone. You're looking at a 16K boost on to 26, and that's like not even a 4K boost in order to get that extra that cosmic critical going. So it really helped out quite a bit. I had to do that a few times during the course of the day, and they got PG'd, but it was just a pressure. And of course, as in Robo Mandatories, we have 4 copies of Daikazer Leon. I played 4 copies. It's going to stay 4 copies in Robos because it's I feel like it's the official game ender for me now, as opposed to my other strides. Because there's other strides, not that they can't end it, it's just that Leon just does it so much better because he's breaking it stride step. So he's doing it on a bigger level, and everyone is kind of like, well, you're running enough grade 3, so I'm almost breaking like something every single time I drive check with Leon at this point. It feels like I'm not really missing any. So with 11 in the deck and another 4 from the Dai Bazookas, he's breaking stuff almost every single rip, and it's really nice to see. As far as G Guardians are concerned, if you're keeping count, that means I ran only 3 G Guardians. I decided to play an aggressive style. I thought that having 4 wasn't going to help me because if I had 4, I figured that if I'm G Guarding more than 3 times, then I'm already out of it. So I figured I'll just save that spot for an aggressive stride on this back end. I played 2 copies of X Caravu. It just helped out a bit in order to keep everything going from there to deter heavy attacks or whatnot. Saved me in the pinch quite a few times actually. And then that means I played 1 copy of Enigma and Patriot. Just because it's, the lesser of the 2, so that way you can kind of still get your chump block on and get your 31 out of smaller swings, because I dealt with a lot of small swings. Maybe it was just my matchups, but I felt like I really would have liked to have had that switched around, but I know that it's the proper scenario. I'm going to talk about one particular combo that came up quite a bit, actually, for me. And it involves dealing with Elegance Feather and Dijet, actually. Between these 2 and whatnot, it's a free 8K plus 2 draw on hit. For Daikazer Leon, this was amazing for me. I feel like with Elegance Feather, I would drop that grade 3. Then with Dijet, I would add that grade 3 back to the deck. So I felt like I might have minus myself 2 cards there, but it'll give my Vanguard an 8K boost, and then it would have netted me a +2 on hit. So for like Daikazer Leon pushes, that's a beautiful thing because you figure opponents are not going to have to overcompensate for the guard, because not only are they gonna have to take that damage, but now I'm gonna net 2 cards for Counterblast 1 on the hit. Never mind anything else that happens throughout the course of that turn. So it was a very helpful play that really helped me out quite a bit over the course of the day. I felt like it was that was really nice. That was a really good setup and whatnot. And then sometimes you would have yourself a Grand Lady just out there any kind of way. And then she would give, that solid boost or whatnot in order to give someone that plus 4K, plus 8K if Excalibur's out there. And then you just kind of keep on going there from there. My goal with the deck was to be as free as possible. I don't want to use Counterblast to make decent columns or get decent effects off. So the only ones who were using Counterblast regularly were on-hit Dijets, Strides, and Grand Revolvers. Everything else in the deck was call, do it for free, call, do it for free, call, do it for free. I think that's how I want to play my D-Robos from here on out. I want to try to create a build where everything that happens on the board to boost the Vanguard's attack should not cost me Counterblast anymore. I think we're beyond the point of having that be a thing, so it really helped out quite a bit. The tournament was amazing. Hopefully you get a chance to check out the finals match at some point. It was more intense than I was ready for. I think I said that during the video, and it truly felt like that. It felt like everything I did was just, it made sense in my head, but trying to do it on the board was a different ball of wax as a whole. But I've come to the conclusion that I need to learn how to play better under the moment because I felt like I was really crumbling really bad. So just keep in mind that I know it's good to win. It's good to finally break through in that regard. And I sat back. I'm really gonna enjoy this for a little bit before Nets comes around. Oh, not even a month. Well, got to refine this a little bit more. I got some changes that I already want to make to it, and I got some things that I already want to test out in it. So I'm gonna keep with it. Keep on reading the new cards and whatnot. And so the Cosmic Heroes are nice, but once again, I feel like they're best as a support stat. But honestly, the way Excalibur is now, and oh my goodness, they're their own thing. But I'm gonna keep on trying to make this Cosmic Engine work in this Robos as well. With that said, this has been Will Cole. Hopefully, you guys are having a good day, and that's pretty much long and short of it. I'm short of words right now because I'm still trying to get over what happened on Saturday. With that said, I thank you all for watching, and as always, believe in justice.